Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo! Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel where today we're talking about officers again, but this is something that I feel like can apply to everybody, whether you're level 5 or 50. Yeah, that. You can learn from this video, and if you already know it, well then make sure you're passing it along to people who may not know it, because everybody needs to get better at the game and have some fun. And we're going to talk about how the Obliterator weapon works on the Augur, particularly how these officers and the ones that create burning can or cannot work with the Augur. The reason that we're really focusing in on that is because the Augur at level 34 is a ship that most of the game is either familiar with because they have it or are in the range to have experienced it one way or the other. Now here's the key with the Augur. Most of the player base is right in that like level 28 to 39 range. Whether you're in a server that's 2.5 years old or even a newer server, most are getting in that kind of range. So you're seeing it, and it's a gorgeous ship. I mean, come on, the Augur is freaking chef's kiss. Love it. One of the best models in the game. The Romulans, who do not have the best officers, definitely have some of the best models when it comes to ships. So we're going to go through the list, and real quick, go shout out to the officer tool, because Scopely, one thing you could do to improve this right here, see this is if we could have more sorting options. Where's the crew preset that you were told us that you were working on 2 years ago? Yeah, crew presets. Where are those at, fam? Come on, we need them. But also the ability to sort by ability. For example, morale, hull breach, burning. We can actually sort by all those in our officer tool. It'd be great if we could sort by them here so we don't have to do what we're about to do, which is fly around the screen. And the one I want to start with is actually way down here, Arium. Now, Arium, the reason we're starting with this one, and this one was found by Air. Now, just a real quick preface, this is a mix of research between myself, Gregor, Air, and then of course other people, but there was a few of these that I had not done enough research myself. They ended up doing it for me, so big appreciations for that. You'll see, of course, them cited, as we always do. We have to give thank yous to everybody who helps out, because if you help out, well, you're freaking amazing. So thank you. But here's the ability. Cybernetic Tactician. 60% chance to inflict burning when defending on a node. Now, obviously, this is a very, very unique why would we use this, but it was getting concluded because of what we were told by Air, which was that in testing found out that this is broken, that it does the opposite, never activates burning on the opponent but on the own ship, your ship, so it makes you burn. Why? What? Now remember, burning has a 1% hull breach, 1% hull burn hidden buff behind it. Now, morale, hull breach, and burning all have a hidden ability. The one for burning is a 1% hull burn. So the fact that she literally is destroying your ship faster, even if it's a poquito amount, is so silly. But this had to get mentioned in the video because, as Air's research found, doesn't even do what it says it does. Where have we seen that before? Oh yeah, another Romulan officer. What is it with burning, y'all? Y'all just don't. What happened at the burning party? We'll leave that alone for now. But yeah, I wanted to mention that because of, well, it didn't work. So next one we'll look at is Eric's. Now this is the uncommon, probably the first one that y'all get when it comes to burning. Every time the opponent is hit by an energy attack, Eric's has a 10% chance of burning it. Obviously, this is a base level, no synergy, very, very, very limited chance of actually turning burning on, but this will not activate the Augur ship ability due to the firing pattern. Now, I'll throw the firing pattern up on the screen real quick if you're not familiar with it, but shortly, the kinetic does not fire in the first round, fires in round 2, and then you've got 2 energy weapons that fire every round. So you actually can't activate, do the firing pattern with the double shot with energy, because the shot with the kinetic is applied after. The ship ability is applied after the kinetic hit. So the way that it falls in the order of operations, go full PEMDAS here, will not work. So yay! Not that you would want to run Eric's as a captain on your Augur. If that's your best burning officer, we need to actually look at your officers, not your ships. Next one up is we're going to take a look at Sharvanik. Now she does work when it comes to doing burning. That is going to be the Romulan Tactician. When the ship's hull health goes under 80% of its value at the start of combat, Sharvanik has a 80% chance of burning the opponent for 3 rounds. And this does affect and work with the Augur's ability. Keep in mind, it does require you to take damage to get there. So you could actually go, especially in Armada, several rounds and never have burning activated. That is important because if you are the lead ship as the one that you're trying to be the support ship to launch burning for everybody, well, that's actually going to hurt you. It's not going to really be, super viable because you want to get going as soon as possible. And depending on when you're getting hit, you may not do this for 15 rounds, 5 rounds, 10 rounds, too much unpredictability, especially with her being the captain. So she does work though. Now, next up, we'll take a look at Merrick. Merrick is an interesting one. Now, this is the one that I did not know about, and shout out to Air, this one and Arium. Shout out to them for doing the research on it. Every time the ship gets hit by a weapon attack, 20% chance of burning the opponent's ship for 1 round. So this one's kind of a yes and no mix. Yes, will actually work with the Augur ship ability for 1 round of burning, but it needs to be enabled in the round where the kinetic weapon fires and with the hit of the kinetic weapon. So it's very, very particular of when this happens, of when it can actually work. So for example, if this happened in round 1, then it doesn't help you at all. So yes, it can happen, but you're really relying on the RNG here because with max energy, you're looking at like 40%. So the odds of you pulling this off kind of low, but it does actually work. So I guess that needs to be said. Yes, you can use Merrick, just not that good, but it will in fact work. Next one I want to talk about is my favorite one, Giorgio, and this one doesn't require really any discussion. I mean, it actually reads and operates as she says, deceptive warfare. At the beginning of each round, granted this is rank 1, 50% chance of burning the opponent's ship for 2 rounds. Now this can proc any round, and this will work with the Augur every single time. The Obliterator can stack on top of it. Works perfect, good, thumbs up if you get her. Use her on your Augur, you'll enjoy it. So no real issue there. Now here's the big one that I'm sure a lot of you are questioning and wanting to know about, Nero. Because if you go back to just probably about 2000, beginning of 2020, sometime like there, we talked about him not working. And actually Gregor put out this picture that he put together, and I think that I posted it as well in a couple Discords, and this was even in LCARs at one point, I think, saved somewhere, and then in the ship crew Discord, stuff like that. But anyway, that you had a firing pattern of XB, XB, XB. And what that B was is for burning. Now, the question was, could Nero work with this based on how Nero fires burning? Now, remember, Nero is very, very picky about how it works. You have the problematic rounds, which is like round 5, he activates with a shot of the Obliterator weapon. And he can work in all those problematic rounds. Problematic being how it falls in the launching of burning for Nero and the firing pattern of the ship itself. So the ship ability is going to be neat. It requires burning to be applied at the start of the round with Giorgio where the kinetic weapon fires, or is applied with a shot of the kinetic weapon with Nero. So they work 2 different ways, but it both can actually work. Definitely want to go with Giorgio. That's my go-to there. But Nero does work, and as I posted in my Discord probably about 3 weeks ago, I was like, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I don't remember how it was. I wanted to talk about this because this is something that had been passed around in earlier videos and want to make sure we address it now. Now, real quickly, I want to mention some of the other things about this that are important, especially when it comes to an Armada, that if you want to stack a support ship so that everybody can use burning, it is really important to remember that, especially for this particular proc that we're talking about, burning, that it depends on where the ship is in terms of the firing order of the pattern, the actual drop down menu of your Armada. So you want it to be the person running that burning is at the top, whether the second ship or the leader, whatever that ends up being. So if that's what you're wanting to do with like a Tyler, you rely on a crossover burning, which would be somebody else's ship to activate it. The ship needs to be higher than you in the processing order. So more power to the ship, or the actual leader of the ship will denote how high that ship is in the Armada activation queue. And then that's going to help determine how much crossover you're getting. So if the weakest ship is running burning, you're actually getting less effectiveness across the officers. And that has to do with some of the other things that we've found with how Armadas proc officers across all ships. So this video may be a little bit confusing because there's a lot of information, and we can actually provide all the notes. I can provide my Nero notes, my Giorgio notes. Then we can give you some of Air and Gregor's notes about Arium, Merrick, their Nero notes, that you can see all this in the Discord if you would like to. But in short, wrapping it up, yes, Nero works. Yes, Charvanek works. Yes, Giorgio works. We'll activate the Obliterator's weapon. We'll grow that cumulative damage that you're looking for. And besides some of the others that really aren't as important to run, like Merrick, they will work as well. And now you know, and hopefully this helped. If it did, smash that like button. It looks like this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you've got questions, comment section down below. Join the Discord. live long and prosper. Stay safe out there, Space Cowboys. We'll catch you in the next one. Deuces, that's me. An even better outro than the intro. Yeah! Woo!